Let's move you over, BB. Oh, that's a little too high. These boys are gonna be singing the blues. Oh my gosh, it's video time, dude. It's video time, dude. It's video time, gang. Let's get it. Let's go. Dude, what if I was British? This was rubbish ages ago. Wow, every British person that watches my channel has unsubscribed. Hey guys, my name's Makayla Lysiak. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. You want to learn how to make an acting resume and you have experience. First of all, congratulations, you have experience. You've worked before, you've gotten some credits under your belt, but now you want to know the most effective way to display them. Well, the best way for an actor to do that is through a resume. Oh, but Makayla, may I ask, what is a resume? A resume is basically an actor's calling card. It represents you and also your body of work. But like, is a resume even important? Yes, very important. It showcases your experience and makes you more appealing to casting directors when you go out for auditions. When you go out for auditions, some productions ask for a headshot and a resume. So when you go in, you'll give the casting director your headshot and your resume. They'll look it over and they'll be like, oh, okay, so she has experience, and they'll view you more professionally. Okay. That's great, that's really cool, but what should I include in my resume? Your name, your agency or manager, your contact information, your union status, your credits, your special skills, physical attributes, and your training. That's a lot, but don't worry. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make your own resume from scratch. But before we get into that, please be sure to like this video so more people find this video and my channel can grow. There are a lot of people who need advice, so just do them a favor and like this video, you know. Just do your girl a favor, you know, just like hit that button. If you don't, that's cool. I'll still support you. I'll still give you free advice, you know what I mean? But it'd be cool, you know. And hey, if you don't have experience, don't worry. I have a video for you coming next week, and I'll teach you everything you need to know about how to make your own resume if you have absolutely no experience. But regardless, you're going to need a resume. So be sure to subscribe so that you get notified when I post that, and so you can make your own little resume at home. Okay, let's get on into the video. First, you're going to want to open up a blank page in your Word document editor. Next, type your name in bold. You want your name to be big on your resume so that the casting director knows who you are. After that, you're going to want to drag in your headshot, and you're going to have to resize it because mine came in pretty big, so I just made it smaller and left it in the upper left-hand corner. That's where I like to keep mine. And then I also added in a border just to make it a little more cleaned up, get the edges nice, and make it look a lot more professional. Then you're going to drag in a text box. You're going to want to line it up with your headshot. Then I'm going to color it to make it a light gray, but I don't want anything too dark. I want to make sure it's kind of barely there, but you'll see why that's important and what it'll do for the whole layout of the resume. Then I just dragged in a text box, and I'm going to retype my name in bold. Now you're going to want to make the font size very, very big. They need to be able to see your name and read your name clearly. Also, never ever going to want really weird fonts that are illegible. You want words that are legible. I suggest just using like Helvetica or Arial font. You don't want crazy fonts like cursive and stuff, and you definitely don't want colors either. So don't use like blues and purples and all these distracting colors. Your color palette just has to be blacks, grays, and whites. That's the most professional looking. Next, you're going to include your union status. So that means if you're SAG-AFTRA, SAG-E, non-union, all of those. Then I'm adding in another text box to add in my contact information. You can include your contact, you can also include your agent and your manager's contact information. And I did mine a little bit backwards. You're gonna want to include your agent's
contact information before your managers if you have both of them. And you're also going to want to put for each where they're based in, what state they're based in. I just put California, for example, and you're going to want to put their phone number following after that. And as you can see, I'm putting important headers in bold print. And I also changed the manager to agent, which is very important again. And then I'm just putting manager underneath that and copying the same state and phone number information as well. I'm dragging it up to the text box. And another thing you can do is add what the agency specializes in or what they send you out for, so commercial, theatrical auditions, or voiceovers. And I also put that in bold, but I left it in a deep gray. Then it makes the text stand out, but not too much. It doesn't overshadow all of the other bold print that's way more important. Now it's time for an important step, creating the headers. So I looked for text background. It basically adds a color behind the text you already have, and I want it to be a super light gray. I don't want it to be too deep because then it's going to take away from the actual text. You just want it to be slightly darker than the white page behind it, and it'll make the header stand out. You can also add a space just to make sure you don't have it right up against the text background. It looks very nice, and I just kept pressing space to keep the line going all the way across the page, just making it look very nice and professional. And there, I just added the spaces again. And I'm going to change the special skills to film actually. Then I'm going to copy and paste all of the information down, and I'm just going to create different titled headers. So you're going to want them based on every category that you've worked in. So you're going to have your film credits, television, commercial, theater, and as well as your training. If you don't have one of these, you can just exclude them from your resume. But I'm going to indent even further just so we can add another text box to put in our special skills tab. So for special skills, I just bolded the text, and you're going to want to add in all of your special skills. So I just put art, drawing, painting, singing, basically whatever you can do. So maybe if you need to be able to play basketball for a show, put in basketball, anything you're really good at. And don't lie about these. Then you're going to want to add in another text box to put in your additional attributes, your physical attributes. So I'm going to write that out and then put the text in bold just like the other one. You're going to want to include your height, your weight, and other physical characteristics. Usually you just include your hair color and your eye color. And a good tip is using spacing. So you can just highlight text and then adjust your spacing between paragraphs. And it just helps to make sure your words aren't jumbled together and then it just looks like a big blob of text. You want everything to be nicely spaced apart. Next, I put all of those headers in bold print, and then I also made sure to make it a deep gray because again, I don't want to take away from the main title, which is additional attributes. Finally, we're going to move on to our credit list. So there's a very specific way to format your credit list. What you're going to want to do is you're going to start on the leftmost corner. You're going to want to write the title of whatever project you worked on. And a quick tip, if you indent and then adjust the point size and press space, you'll get a nice little space in between your text and the header. In the middle of the page, in the center, you're going to want to write the character name. And on the very rightmost side of the page, you're going to want to put the production company and the director, or you can just have one or the other. But you're going to want to make sure all of it's in line. And you're going to want to repeat the same thing for however many projects you have in that same category. You don't want any of your titles to be off center or too far apart. You want to make sure everything looks like it's in a line because then it's going to keep sort of a cohesion to the eye and it's going to make everything look more aesthetically pleasing. You can do the same for television shows and for commercials. And for training, you're going to want to put the name of your acting class or acting school on the leftmost side of the page, and then you're going to want to write your teacher's name and put that in the middle of the page. And that's it for the resume. I think it looks so cool, and I'm definitely going to be using this layout for my resume from now on because I actually really, really like it. So you can just take a screenshot or save it as a PDF, and you're good to go.
Okay, what the heckle? Literally, I got up and I was done filming, and then I realized I had freaking mascara under my eye. What? Anyway, just don't focus on that. Just focus on Makayla because she's just a dummy dumb. With mascara smeared under her eyes, but it's totally cool because she didn't know about it. Okay, anyway, back to the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some really helpful advice on how to build your own resume and how you would approach building your own, because that was basically the whole point of this video. So if you didn't, then I basically failed. But I hope you got just like some little tips and tricks that helped you out. And I would love it if you messaged me on Instagram because I love hearing your guys' video ideas and you guys have so many. Seriously. Okay, this is my general list. I did this in my other video, but these are all of the people that I have responded to. I don't know if you can see it, I don't know, but it literally just goes on forever. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the one, the only monologue submission segment of the video. Bro, what was that? Whoa. Oh my gosh, that all rhymed. It's time for the monologue submissions. If you guys are interested in submitting your own monologue to help other people with their acting, give them advice, and also get critiques on yours, be sure to go to my Instagram and look at the little highlight section that says monologue, and you'll get all the information on how to submit your own. Let's see who we're gonna review. Sweetie, oh, yes. Okay. I know who we're gonna be reviewing today. We have a submission from Kazaya. I think that's how you say. Her Instagram is at Kazaya with multiple Z's, 2 A's, and 2 H's, so follow her on there. Tell her that she did a freaking good job and that she's super brave for submitting her monologue. Okay, let's get straight into it.
Hi, my name is Kazaya Smith, and I'm 15 years old, and I'm from Michigan. Sorry to bother you, but have you seen a small dog running around? About yay big, brown, blue collar, goes by the name of Charlie, or Harley, or Carly. Pretty much anything that ends in Artie, as long as you say it in a high-pitched voice. Watch. You try. Anyways, my dog Chuck, that's his given name, the others are just pet names, is lost. He ran out the front door just a week ago to chase an opossum. I know what you're thinking. Opossum? Yes, that's how I pronounce it, the old English way. Luckily, Chuck does not like to play with opossum. He just likes to kill him. Chuck is also very water driven, so he may be in your back pool or in your bathtub. You know if a dog was in your tub, right? He also loves food, so he may be in your pantry. Oh my gosh! Please tell me you do not store mayonnaise in your pantry. Chuck loves mayonnaise. Seriously. Like, I keep telling him Charlie. Sometimes I call him by his pet name. Charlie, if you keep eating mayonnaise, you're gonna get high cholesterol. It's like he doesn't even care about his health. Anyways, if you do see Chuck, do not approach him. No offense, but you kind of got small eyes and you kind of look like an opossum.
Okay. I thought it was a very interesting monologue, but I do have some notes. It's funny because I actually really liked your character choice. I thought it was very interesting, and casting directors actually love to look for interesting takes on something that could be very straightforward. If I was approaching the scene, I would be a lot more frantic because I just lost my dog, Charlie, but she kind of goes at it nonchalant, where she's like, hey, like, have you seen a small dog? And she's very chill about it. I think there's something kind of funny about that. The choice has a little bit of its own quirk to it, which I love. I also really loved your setup. This is ideal for self-tapes. Yes, Naomi's was pretty good, but this is mostly the ideal type of setup you want for a self-tape. A nice background that is not really like a door or a wall. You kind of just want like a colored background. So this is good. Like, this is what you would kind of have in an acting class. That's what I liked about it. Let's get into what I think could be improved. So your pacing was very slow. I assume this is comedic again. I think that you need to be a little bit faster. It was very slow, and as the thing kind of goes on, you lose your audience. So you're gonna want to keep up the fast pace. Comedy, like if you look at Disney Channel, 22-minute sitcoms, they're all fast paced. You can't lose any moments. You can't lose a beat. Everything is beat by beat, pace by pace. So with this stuff, this is kind of very hard because you have to plan out every little thing, making sure your facial expressions are on point. They're quick, they change fast. Your tone of voice and your range of pitch and all this stuff with your voice, it has to change as the scene keeps going, but it has to be a little bit faster. You have to pick the pace.
Sorry to bother you, but have you seen a small dog running around? About yay big, brown?
Right, so see how slow that is? Also, this character seems a little bit crazy. She's going like, oh, my dog Chuck, oh, I'm concerned about his cholesterol, all this different stuff. So I think that as she's saying all this stuff, I kind of want to see more of the thought process going on when she switches from subject to a completely different subject to a completely different subject. I want to see the wheels turning in your head.
Anyways, my dog Chuck, that's his given name. The others are just pet names, is lost.
Right, when you say a little bit about, so my dog Chuck is his given name, so the other ones are pet names. I want to see like the shifts in your thinking process. Maybe she's looking at you a little bit weird, like I thought you were talking about Charlie. So kind of clock that. Make it feel like the other person's really there. So you can say, anyway, my dog Chuck. Oh, Chuck is his given name. The other ones are just pet names. Anyway, so, kind of like that. She's a little bit crazy, you know what I mean?
Luckily, Chuck does not like to play with opossum. He just likes to kill him. Chuck is also very water driven, so he...
Right, so even with he just likes to kill him. Also, Chuck is very water driven. Taking whoa, all this stuff is happening in my brain and I'm thinking about one thing, so while I'm saying he just likes to kill him. Oh, Chuck is also very water driven, changing it, you can see how my emotions change on my face, oh, just a new idea. Oh, I just thought of something else. So then it shifts. You can see the visual shift, and it's gonna want to be fast-paced. You want to see all those shifts very quickly because it's comedy, right?
So he may be in your back pool or in your bathtub. You know if a dog was in your tub, right? He also loves food, so he may be in your pantry. Oh my God! Please tell me you do not store mayonnaise in your pantry. Chuck loves mayonnaise. Seriously. I keep telling him, Charlie. Sometimes I call him by...
And even with this, you can say it a little bit differently because a lot of the same tone throughout the whole thing. Separating your words and putting more emphasis on some words and making stuff stand out on its own. See how it's please don't tell me you have mayonnaise in your pantry. Chuck loves mayonnaise. You see how the pacing, it was fast? Chuck loves slow mayonnaise. And then it messes with his cholesterol and it's just a big mess. So he loves mayonnaise. That was Keziah's monologue. Be sure to leave me a comment and tell me what you thought of her monologue or what notes you have or what you liked about it. Send in your monologue if you want to submit. Be sure to subscribe to your girl for more acting videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.